Hi everyone, I thought we would come back and do another few items from this page, which is from Autumn Harvest by Teresa Goodridge. Now I'm not going to do the whole page, as I said before. I did quite a few different leaves for you last time, and these. I'm going to do this slice of pumpkin pie, and we'll probably do the chrysanthemums. That's rather sweet, and maybe our acorn today. So the pumpkin pie has confused me. Having never had pumpkin pie, I wasn't sure. I'm going to start colouring the pastry. So here is our brown ochre. We are using Polychromos, by the way, as we have for the rest of the page, or most of the page. I think I used a bit of Stedler, didn't I, on some parts. Now, I know that this base here is pastry, as is this bit here, and this crust. I'm a little bit confused by this bit. Excuse me, because it looks like it's a lid, a pastry lid, but I thought pumpkin pie was like a tart without a lid, but this is actually under here. So I think I'm going to colour this as a pastry top, which I think is wrong, but it just seems to be the way it's drawn. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to add we're going to add another colour to our brown. I'm going to use the light yellow ochre and brighten it a little bit. I feel like that is the way. It's quite hard to get a colour of pastry, I find, but we'll do a bit of that. And then I'm going to go back to the brown ochre and do a little bit more. So I'm thinking the bottom edge of these, just to put a bit of under there. And this is like the side, so I'm going to make that a bit darker. And then that sort of inside bit. There we go. And then I've gone a bit over the cream. Our pumpkin bit in there is, I think, probably quite a dark orange, because I know this is terracotta. I talked to my friend Mary about it. She was saying you mix cinnamon in to the pumpkin and it gets quite dark. So I'm going to put a bit of terracotta in there, and I'm going to put some orange on it as well. A few layers of this. I've never had pumpkin pie. They do sell pumpkin puree in tins in this country, which I don't know if that's what you use, or whether you just use a real pumpkin and roast it or whatever. I'm going to use a little bit of orange glaze. I don't know if it'll make it a bit too bright. Yeah, it will. I'm going to go back over it with the terracotta after. But no, we don't really have it here. But then we don't do terracotta. We don't do Thanksgiving, of course, because obviously it's a specific American remembrance of a certain day. But I think just generally being thankful is very good, which I've said before. Okay, I'm just going to erase where I've gone over the edge there. Now cream is quite difficult to colour. I'm going to use my cream pencil, but I'm just going to sharpen it. So it's usually white, not cream, isn't it? Here's the cream. Now we have to be careful with this because it can end up looking very yellow. So we need to just go really, I'm just going to do a gentle bit over it. And then just think about where there might be a bit of extra shadow on the edges here. There we go, just like that. There we are. Now you might prefer to do your top as a darker pumpkin layer, but that's, yeah, as I say, I don't really know. Now the chrysanthemums here, I'm thinking they come in so many different colours, of course, but I was thinking maybe an orangey red might be a good colour because it would match in with our lovely autumnal sort of theme. And so I'm going to grab the dark cadmium orange and do a layer, and then I'm going to put some red on top. So I'm going to put a light layer of this on first. Now these are quite detailed. You can just, there are two ways you can colour them really, well lots of ways obviously, but my sort of thinking is you can either take your darker colour in a minute and go just around them like this and then make them lighter on the top so they look, so you can emphasise the sort of roundedness of each pretty flower, or you can try to bring out each petal, which is what I am going to do. So that's my sort of first layer, and then I'm going to grab my red, which is my light cadmium red, so we're not going really dark, and I'm going to sharpen it. Then I'm going to look at each flower, and I'm going to do this sort of outside layer, a bit darker, but looking sort of around the edge of each petal, like that, and just make it a bit darker, as if there's some shadow under where each petal is drawn. You might help to give each bit a little bit more texture, to a darker bit in the middle. And it just will make it look a little bit more interesting as well. And I think flowers aren't always all the same colour. My parents' dahlias are looking really lovely when I was at their house yesterday. Beautiful. They have them in pots. Through the kitchen window I was drying up. My dad was so funny. He was washing up and I dried up a few things, and I put down the cloth and I was nattering. He kept saying, "There's more, don't go away." I was like, "That's okay. Just having a natter, I'll be back." That's funny. But we were just doing some of the saucepans and things. There was quite a lot of washing up. Usually I wash up actually when I'm there, but he just did it. I was nattering, I expect. But anyway, but it was fine. I should get my boys helping really when we're there, but they, well, one, they were a bit tired from all the walking, but they need to get used to it. So I'll be doing it a lot more again soon. They're back at uni. I can hear my son singing in the kitchen. He's getting his breakfast. Going to go and get coffee in a minute. He's just having breakfast. I'm thinking about my second coffee of the day. Now, I'm thinking I'd quite like to go over that with, I'm going to use this dark chrome yellow. It's quite orangey, and just brighten it all up a bit. I know I said I was going to do it red, but I feel it needs a bit more colour, and if I put red over it then it's going to hide what I've done. I think they look quite pretty, this colour. If I'd started with a bit of a darker base colour it would have looked redder, but it's fine. Actually we could do the pot really red, couldn't we, or the ribbon. Let's do the leaves first though. I think I might just do them in the permanent green. Give it a sharpen. Now I'm just going to make them darker on the edge, lighter to the tip like that. That bit a bit darker. Just really simple colouring. I don't know if they need anything more complex really. My husband's in the kitchen chatting to my son. They're talking about the rain. They're that loud. My husband's got a really booming voice. Really loud. My son's got a really deep voice and he talks really quietly. My other son's loud and boomy. Funny. I can get really loud when I get excited. I get louder and louder and louder. Sometimes my dad's like, "Shh." my niece brought her dog. It's a little tiny dog, and it was really raining. It's quite young as well. It's raining really hard at one point, and my parents got a conservatory with a roof that's plastic, so it was really loud, and poor little dog was going mad with the sound of the rain. He hates rain. He doesn't like going out for walks in the rain, and I'm just thinking about the ribbon and the flower pot. I think I'm going to do the ribbon first in a really dark red. I just want to use a red. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter towards the middle of each bit to make it look a bit shiny. I think it's supposed to be taffeta, the way it's sort of, I don't know if that's the right word, a sort of strawy type ribbon, but I'm not going to try and, I'm going to make it look a bit more like it's a shiny ribbon. Anyway, the dog went absolutely bananas when it was raining so heavy. We had to shut all the doors up so he couldn't hear it because he was getting really upset by it. He got really upset a bit later on too. My niece got stressed, I could tell, by something, and her dog felt it, and he was really agitated. It was really interesting, but fortunately it didn't last too long. I'm going to use the lighter red for the pot. This is the pale geranium lake, and yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm not going to put it down too hard because, you know, I need our ribbon to stand out, but I think it will because they're really different reds. But I'm just filling in, just doing a layer, and then I will think about where I want to do some more intense bits. I will, I think, but I'll sharpen it first because it's quite blunt at the minute. Blunt pencil's quite good for a more even layer. Right. So let's start at the bottom here and make it dark on the edges. There we go. We can do the same here, but I'm going to go under that sort of rim a bit as well. Just try and fade it a bit more towards the middle. So, a bit under there. So there's going to be a bit of shadow where the plant is. There we go. I don't know if that red goes with that orange. Never mind. It's the person who planted the flowers' fault, not mine. Just going to do this little acorn. I'm going to use a really dark brown for the sort of base bit. So we've got a walnut brown for this bit. Now the stalk, I'm just going to block in like that. But for this bit, I'm going to make it a bit dark on the edges. So that edge, and then a bit lighter towards the middle, darker here, and then lighter here, like that. And then the actual acorn, I'm going to start with this, I think. This is the burnt ochre. I'm going to ignore this line. I'm just going to put a layer on. I'll make it dark on each side. Like that. We don't know if I think that might be fine. I like that colour, I think it works. And you can draw that in with a white pen if you wish. Now what have we done? Let's have a look. We've done this sort of 3 items here, and I think that's plenty for today. I'm looking, we've got a lot of repetitions. We've got another sunflower. I don't need to show you how to do that. Lots of leaves, can do in a similar way. We've got apples, which we've done already. Got acorns that we've done already. So the only things that I haven't really done, the hat, the apple pie and the basket. I might come back and do those. Yeah, I think I will. So, but I might not, as I say, I might not do all of it because it'll be too much the same maybe. But I'll see. Anyway, I'm going to leave that for today. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.